This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
Let's play B-Migs.
It's time to play the game.
Yeah!
So everybody scream his name. B-Migs, don't be a loser. Whoa! B-Migs, you're a loser.
It is time to be Migs, and it's time to turn down more tequila.
Charge out for what?
That's right, baby. Yeah, it's Tuesday. Get a margarita. Start drinking.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost 7. That counts for something, right?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere, I think the kids say.
Exactly. Let's get to our contestant today. We've got Cody in Maple Valley. Cody, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. All right, Steve, get out of here. For those playing at home, Cody will have 60 seconds to answer 10 questions. Cody, you can pass all you want, but you will only get 3 guesses per question. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Slipknot frontman Corey Taylor's other project, Stone Sour, formed in what early 90s year?
92.
Yes. What state had the most tornadoes in 2020?
Texas.
No.
Tennessee.
No.
Oklahoma.
No. What movie's first batch of soap is made from the fat from liposuction clinics?
Oh, can you repeat the question?
What movie's first batch of soap is made from the fat of from liposuction clinics?
Pass.
The 4 colors of the original Trouble board game are red, blue, green, and what?
Yellow.
Yes. Which team originally drafted Phillip Rivers only to trade him to San Diego?
Chargers.
No.
Las Vegas.
No.
Pass.
From what musical does the song Beauty School Dropout come from?
Pass.
Dominic Monaghan played Charlie in what ABC mid-2000s show?
How old are you, Cody?
I'm 31.
That's the problem.
A little bit too old for him
Not
on
his
those.
wheelhouse,
Yep.
yeah.
Well, Cody,
Sorry, Cody.
you dropped a deuce.
Yeah, you did.
Shout out to Lake Ridge.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll have to see how this works out now.
Yeah, I mean, as this game was going on, I was like, it doesn't feel like Cody is he's just aware of any of this because he wasn't really he wasn't around for it.
You know what? It's a Tuesday morning. Maybe he hasn't had his coffee.
No,
maybe just
31 years old.
It just didn't work out for him
Especially
outside his wheelhouse.
The deep cut question you asked with one of, mean, I love that deep cut question, but I don't think I don't think 31 he's going to know that.
Oh man.
Yeah, I really don't.
Because I hate being old when I'm like, I knew this right away.
I know how old that situation is.
Yeah.
And he was 11.
Well, let's see if Steve's old enough for these questions.
Oh boy.
Steve, are you ready?
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Slipknot frontman Corey Taylor's other project, Stone Sour, formed in what early 90s year?
91.
No.
92.
Yes. What state had the most tornadoes in 2020?
Oh, crap. I'm going to go Texas.
No.
Oklahoma.
No.
Tornadoes. Arkansas.
No. What movie's first batch of soap
Kansas, Missouri.
No.
Oh.
What movie's first batch of soap is made out of the fat from liposuction clinics?
Fight Club.
Yes. The 4 colors of the original Trouble board game are red, blue, green, and what?
Yellow.
Yes. Which team originally drafted Phillip Rivers only to trade him to San
New York
Diego?
Football Giants.
Yes.
Yep.
From what musical does the song Beauty School Dropout come from?
Grease.
Yes. Dominic Monaghan played Charlie in what ABC mid-2000s show?
Charlie and the Choo Choo Factory.
No.
Oh, crap. Family Ties.
No.
Middle of the Family.
No.
Wow.
Who was the lead singer of The Doors?
Jim Morrison.
Yes. Who played Eminem's character's mom in 8 Mile?
Oh, crap. What's her name? Kim Basinger.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Correct.
Rev, you know what? He knows who this character is. He doesn't name the note. He doesn't know the name Charlie.
Yes.
Steve, what show did Dominic Monaghan play a rock
Lost.
star?
There you go.
That's why the name sounds so familiar. Lost is the greatest show.
Well, and the Charlie
No, you're
death
right.
scene was probably one of the most tragic scenes in the history of that show. That was so sad.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Very memorable. And Steve, congrats though. You win 7-2.
Sorry about that.
Do you remember the name of Charlie's band?
Yeah.
Drive Shaft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job.
I remember there was a
Bing,
shaft
bing,
in the
bing.
name.
I would have lost that name. I would have lost that game. Drive Shaft. That's right. That's when Lost was good.
Yeah, up
Everybody-
until season 3,
Yeah.
I loved it. And then season 3 happened and weird polar bear food and all that stuff in the cages, and I was done.
Yeah, well, you'll have that.
The only one you didn't get that you got to, Steve, the state that had the most tornadoes in 2020. Here's a clue.
Okay.
BJ, you once lived in this state.
Oh, I did.
You did.
I'm going to say Florida.
Correct.
I was going to say
Florida
Florida,
has
and
a
I
lot
thought
of
hurricanes. is
Yeah,
more.
Florida has a
Yeah.
lot of tornadoes.
Yes, that panhandle.
Oh, the Panhandle. Good call. I forgot. I keep forgetting about the Panhandle.
Yeah, they've had a lot of tornadoes.
Damn, that's really wild because I would have thrown, I'm thinking of Dorothy in Kansas. I thought that was the answer just because the Wizard of Oz,
See,
that's the biggest tornado there was.
Yeah, see, Kansas is trying to fool you there with that one.
I think it was a tornado. Maybe it wasn't even, was it a tornado for
It was a
her?
tornado,
I wasn't
yeah.
sure if maybe it was a cyclone or tornado.
No, I'm pretty sure they said tornado.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Well,
All right.
congratulations, Steve. You won with 7 correct.
Hey, good job, Stevie.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. No problem. There's a Starbucks employee that has used computer voices to reenact a frustrating exchange that she had with a customer. I don't understand why people don't view Starbucks employees as the angels that they are. I mean, they are giving me my liquid love. And that doesn't sound right, but they really are.
Are you wearing a boner donor shirt when you do this?
I know, but I mean, it's like liquid goodness, my liquid sunshine, and then there might be a sweet cookie or something, or a great egg bite, or there's so much good at Starbucks that how do you get into a vicious exchange with them?
I think sometimes, I'm not justifying it, but I think sometimes people are there because they need a coffee. And sometimes you need a coffee because you're in a grumpy mood.
Well, I love what this person did. The Starbucks employee used computer voices to reenact this frustrating exchange. This customer gave specific instructions about her dairy allergies and then yelled at her for not putting whipped cream on the Frappuccino.
A real conversation I had with a customer at work the other day. Hello, welcome to Starbucks. What can I get for you? Hi, can I get a caramel frappuccino with almond milk? Of course. And can you make sure they use almond milk? I am severely allergic to dairy. Yeah, no problem. I'll even grab a new blender from the back, so there is no cross-contamination. Thank you. Here you go. Where is the whipped cream? Frappuccinos are supposed to come with whipped cream. But you said I say no whipped cream? No. But I thought you said you are allergic. A little whipped cream won't hurt me. What?
I don't know what's more annoying, is that customer or that robot that pronounces Frappuccino wrong.
Well,
Frappuccino.
Okay.
Stupid robot.
so
Dumb robot.
I mean, now I don't hear any intonation or yelling, but I mean, that's the problem is that I could see that, yes, she's obviously a paradox because she says she's allergic to dairy, but she wants a little whipped cream. But it didn't seem like she was snippy about it, but it's hard to tell with a robot.
I was going to say, it's an AI voice.
Yeah, it's just a robot voice.
You can't hit the bitch mode on those things. You can make them sound like they're English or Australian, which is cool, but not
Yeah.
like a bitch.
I would say that...
That is a dumb argument to have with somebody, though.
Yeah. I mean, but you know what? Sometimes when you're a brainiac, you're somebody who just thinks like the way you think, that you go, what the hell did you have me go do all this for when you want whipped cream on there? I can see both sides of this. Because I know people that are diabetic, but still every once in a while I go, yeah, I'll have a piece of cake.
She said she was severely allergic.
Stop calling me out.
Right. She said she was allergic. Do not give me any dairy.
Severely.
Right.
I don't.
And then says, hey, hook me up with that whipped dairy stuff that you have called whipped cream.
Yeah. And I know why she said severely allergic, because she's probably gotten some orders where they haven't given her the right stuff. And you go, because that does happen at any place. And you go, you're trying to find the right language to make sure that they get your order right. Because I've had that when I've gone to places where I go, I want blah, 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 and I've said it right, and they give it to me wrong multiple times. And I go, I need to find another way to say this because they don't seem to be understanding that I want it this way.
So the right language is to lie that you have a severe allergic reaction to something?
People do that.
Yeah.
There are people that are maybe by choice, they're vegan or whatever it may be, but they just don't, they're just like, oh, I'm allergic to dairy. That way that person will make it an extra effort to keep them from having any dairy stuff touch their meal.
And she did. She didn't give her whipped cream.
Yeah, but here's my point, Vicky. What do you do if you go to a place and you say it the right way and multiple times they give it to you the wrong way? Go
to a different place.
Okay, you know what I mean?
Go to the Starbucks three buildings over.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, you used to work in the business. What would you say when someone keeps coming into your restaurant and they go, I want eggs over easy, and you continue to give them scrambled eggs? At that point, what do to the customer?
I'm very confused about this argument, though. Like, the whole point is that she's saying she's severely allergic to dairy, and then at the end, the barista makes it a point to not give her anything dairy in her drink, and she's upset with the person.
I'm thinking she says severely allergic just to make sure she gets the almond milk, because sometimes people will probably just not give her the milk. She probably just wants almond milk in there and doesn't want to have.
But you're then having a massive mind F with the barista, because they're like, well, if you're severely allergic to something that's dairy, I'm going to make sure I don't give you any dairy.
No, I'm not upset with that barista. I'm saying to Vicky, why would somebody make up a story like that? Probably because their order hasn't been done right a couple of times, and they just want to find a way to be able to get it done right.
I've had customers say, you know what, the last few times it hasn't been this way. I've ordered it this way and it doesn't. It's like, could we make sure that this happens? And then I'll be like, no, I will pay extra attention. Why don't you just be honest?
Okay. I mean, if you're going to be receptive and not pee in my drink when I go, you know what, I've been here a couple times and you guys haven't done it right.
It's also tone of voice. Like, the last few times I've been here, it was wrong. So make sure it's right. Yeah, I'm going to not like you. But if you're like, hey, can you make sure that it's okay? It's all about how you talk to somebody.
Okay. So don't lie. And use the right tone of voice, and hopefully that works.
Treat them like a human being.
All right.
Who would have thought?
All right. Well, I got no problem with that. I kind of get mad at people that don't get the orders right multiple times. I look at it like, how difficult is it for you? You write it on a cup and you still get it wrong. If that had happened in life.
I just have that mentality of I just assume it's always going to be wrong, and when it's right, I'm very excited. And if it's wrong, I still enjoy it.
There you go.
Well, that's because you don't have a severe allergy, buddy.
I do.
Steve, you would have been my favorite customer at Starbucks because I used to work there, and you would be surprised the lengths people will go at to get their drink wrong so they can get a free drink the next time.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. That's frustrating.
Oh, yeah.
I like mine with recently I like the oat milk, but sometimes they'll give me soy, they'll give me almond. I mean, I'm not a fan of almond, but I'm just like, I got bigger things in my life to worry about than the type of creamer that they put in my drink.
Yeah, I mean, look, I love to live like you. If you can just take what's given to you and go, it's fine. I think you're going to have a better life than most.
And then when they're gone, I pee on the side of their building, of course.
Oh, see, that's the way to get back at them.
Right.
I mean, you show them.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW. Hey, you got something to say? I got something to say. They're wild, rabid, and on the loose. This is Listeners on the Loose.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose. Listeners on the Loose. You, yes, you pick the topic, and you, yes, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Whatever it is that you think we need to know, make sure you follow Steve's rules.
It's a simple rule, BJ. It's to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, we're going to have to gong you. And then say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Someone said, hey, I'm kind of new to your radio show, and I'm so sorry. How dare you? Welcome to the show. I regret my delay, but can you guys please explain the family dynamic here? It sounds like BJ's kids are a part of the show.
Yeah.
Yes, we're all BJ's kids.
Really, when you think about it, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, all right. So
we're all
there's
from different moms, but the same dad.
So yeah, let's do a quick introduction of everybody and how they relate.
Okay.
Because we never think about the fact there could be somebody brand new, and there's a lot of people on this show.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of voices.
So I'm BJ Shea.
Hi, BJ.
Hi, how are you? So this is that
Hi, BJ.
voice. And you guys know me. This is for the new. This and you are.
I am Steve.
Hi, Steve.
I am Steve. What do you like,
I am
Groot?
Steve. Yes.
I am Steve.
I am Miggs.
Yes.
I like wrestling and hockey
Yeah.
and rock and roll.
And don't forget pina coladas.
Rock and roll.
You like the rock and roll?
I like the rock and roll.
If you like pina
And you like, Don't forget long watches. Long watches.
Long watches, yeah.
Long walks on the beach. Or
No, I don't like sand, so I'm not a fan of that, actually.
So you're Steve Miggs.
Yes.
I'm BJ Shea.
Yes.
And then to
Well,
your.
what do you like? Yeah, tell them what you like.
Yeah, what do you like?
Give them like a
I
little
don't really-
elevator
I
pitch
don't-
about who
I
you
don't-
are and
I
what
don't
you're
like-
about.
I
I'm
really don't-
BJ. I like pictures of dogs to send to my Twitter.
Yes, at BJ Shea. All right. Well, no, see, that's what happens. You let Danny speak for you.
Yep.
Oh, well, since we're talking about Danny, that's Danny. He runs the equipment, and he's a douche.
Yes.
He's from New Mexico, which means he has bad taste and everything, and he's probably a Walter White fan and has blue meth in his pocket. All right.
I mean, you could let him speak for himself.
No,
but I'm sure he'd
he
say
spoke
that.
for me.
Yeah, that's a good
Right?
point.
You know,
Fair.
I mean,
All right,
hey.
we move on to Vicky then.
All right, so Danny's done. Vic, yes, to your left is Vicky.
Hi, puppy. I speak Spanish. If you couldn't tell. And we're supposed to introduce ourselves.
I don't know what
I'm
to tell.
Vicky. I speak Spanish. That's your calling card?
Okay, go back to I'm Steve. I speak English. Sometimes.
I was saying
I
not
speak
well.
English good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I
speak
like. Is this
English
how you
mediocre.
introduce yourself to people? You go, "Hi, Vicky. I papi. I speak Spanish."
Well,
That's
'cause
your opening line.
Some people are like, oh, I bet you don't really speak Spanish. It's like, no, I really do. I speak it fluently.
Well, I don't know what. I mean, it's not like everybody speaks Spanish. Why would somebody say that to you?
It's like some people think I'm a poser. And I'm here to prove that I'm only kind of
Oh,
a
a poser Mexican? Is that what they
Yeah.
say? Oh, I didn't know there were poser Mexicans.
Tell them what you like to do with your Spanish.
Oh, I like to make videos and sell them on OnlyFans.
She has an OnlyFans.
Oh,
yes.
you do everything in Spanish on
I do some,
OnlyFans?
like a lot of them in Spanish, yes.
Yo quiero OnlyFans.
And Taco Bell.
Okay.
No, what else do you like to do in Spanish?
Oh, no.
Oh, that
No.
one. Yeah, her favorite.
You gotta do it.
It's your famous impression.
Dang it. Yo soy Gorgolio y estoy buscando papelito amarillo para limpiar mi traserillo. I like doing Beavis in Spanish.
Yep. From Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. All right, then.
All right. Now we move on. Let's make sure we get your kids actually in the room.
Well, they got to come in. Yeah, they sure do. Yeah.
But let's move on to the Rev.
Oh, yes. Now, he's in his own room,
Yes.
hermetically sealed for our protection.
Yes, because I am the Reverend in Fuego, and I like to fart.
But what language do you speak?
Yeah, that's important.
Most of the time, I do speak English. Sometimes I speak old-timey and or steampunk.
And Nerd Rage.
Oh, yeah, I get mad a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
A lot.
Yes, that's a fact. And he named himself the Reverend in Fuego.
Yeah, he came in with his own nickname.
He came in with his own nickname.
It's better than the ones that you used to give people.
I agree. That was a smart move.
It's a good thing your first name was not Matt, let's just say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or Troy.
Whenever I hear from him,
Sean.
he's a good bud. And I instantly think that you once called him Mangina Matt.
Well, we had to come up with all these clever names, and we had Mama's boy Troy, which was always not a bad one for our buddy Troy, who used to work here. We never gave the women; we just let them be who they were. It was only the men we abused.
Well, you gave Vicky a crappy Woody Allen movie.
Yeah, Vicky Barcelona.
Yeah, that was you that gave me the nickname.
Oh, all right. I guess we do give some of the women. Well, we don't give you like it wasn't Mangina Vicky at
No.
least.
Right. I pushed for Sticky Vicky, but everyone said no to that.
Yeah, that's not a good
Who would
one.
have thought?
Yeah.
I thought that was a good one. But
I did too.
And Danny, what the heck? This is Danny. He's the newest member of the show, actually.
Oh, hi, everyone.
Yeah.
I'm not BJ Shea. I'm Danny.
Hi,
And
Danny.
I like pizza, long walks on the beach. I do like the long walks on the beach. And beer.
lots of beer.
And
And
whiskey.
MXPX.
And MXPX.
They have a restraining order against you
They
still, right?
actually really do, ever since I moved up here.
He doesn't say that he wears like he's Mr. Makeup. He still has a wallet chain.
You only have so many things you can throw out there.
But
You
that's
gotta
it.
pick- you gotta pick
he
his
needs
favorites.
to.
I'm Danny and I have a wallet chain. That sounds very
Out
exciting.
of, he's the only dude on the
I
show.
wouldn't swipe on that.
Exactly, but I mean that's who he is. He's very emo, paints his nails, and he's always got that one nail a different color. Loves Halloween, and he's orange and black with this kid, and he cries a lot.
All that. I like Titanic too.
Yeah, there's that.
Yes.
And then
That's why
finally,
he cries a lot.
And then finally, yes, there are two other members of the show that happen to be my children.
These are actually your children.
These are my real children.
They are from you.
Vicky and Danny are old enough; they could be my, the same demographic as my children. And sure as hell, they glom off me like my children.
Oh, we tell everybody that you adopted us legally.
We're trying to make it legal. So,
Yeah.
So we got your son.
Hello.
Hi. I appreciate you following the ball and going with it. I was a little worried.
You caught me off guard there.
Yeah, this is
Joey D's nuts.
And what would you like to tell them, Joey? What language do you speak?
Klingon.
Okay, very good.
I also, like Danny, have a fond love of beer and whiskey. I love Vegas. I go down there to play a lot of poker, and I am constantly in talks with the Los Angeles Lakers to play basketball.
They haven't answered your calls.
No, LeBron.
Just like MXPX, there's a restraining order.
Exactly. Other than that, I keep BJ and Sarah calm, or I try. They're kind of crazy.
And you cook a mean mac and cheese.
And I cook a mean mac and cheese.
And he's starting to become a really great baker. He bakes a lot of good stuff, too. Cooking and baking is his hobby. He thought he wanted to do it for school, but I'm glad he made it just a hobby.
Oh, I thought that was like a euphemism for smoking weed.
Oh, no.
All right, now,
ladies and gentlemen. So I only have two kids. That's the first one.
And I am the better one.
Oh, Jesus.
Your wonderful daughter.
Oh, God help me.
I am the apple of your eye. Yep. Let's see. I like to get wasted. I used to love to go to the clubs when that was a thing.
Yep.
And let's get real, if I wasn't here, I would probably be dancing at one of them. So.
Yeah, she's quite ratchet, my daughter.
And what don't you like?
What don't I like?
Oh, I know where he's going with this.
I don't. What don't I like?
What don't you use when you're
all know
for safety?
In the bedroom.
I always think everyone just doesn't use condoms. Okay. So I forget that I don't even like them because I think everyone shouldn't like them.
Yeah, she's the apple of my eye.
Yeah.
She is.
My boyfriend and I have almost been together for 4 years, though, and never have we ever used one.
How about that?
And look, hey, haven't been pregnant yet.
The listeners, you can just Facebook that one. I don't need to hear these things.
I must be doing something right.
You're being environmentally conscious, right?
Yeah.
You're not throwing more waste
My
into
bad.
the universe.
We should pull out of this conversation. I'm sorry.
I see what you did there.
There it was.
Yeah, thanks.
It's getting a little too raw in here.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, which I will
I
not
like
be.
sushi, speaking of.
Oh, yeah, me too.
See, that's a good one. Yeah, see the apple of your eye, Father.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lovely. So that's everybody on the show. New person.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi, Pampy.
That was close.
Yeah,
So it says, you guys are a train wreck. Welcome to the show, new listener from Shane and Chehalis.
Thank you, Shane.
That's for sure.
Hopefully we didn't lose you after this.
Yeah, that's a fact. And everybody, by the way, is 100% like who they are in this show. There's no, trained actors. We're all just maybe trained baboons. That's about all we are. So there you go.
I think a trained baboon would do better.
Yeah, you're probably right.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock,
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. It's listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Here's a heavy question for us coming from one of our texters. I was wondering if you guys had a dying wish, what would it be?
Ooh.
It's a good one.
Wow.
I'm trying to think of like who I'd want to talk to.
Yeah, maybe
hang out with Stoya. No, I'm kidding. That's
maybe going to space. Like, if there was a spot on SpaceX or something like that, that'd be kind of cool, I suppose, if I knew I was dying.
One, if you do it with Elon Musk based on some things, I mean, they might be able to help you with the dying part. Didn't he have like a big explosion on one of his things?
Okay, I don't need to be dying. I mean, I just
that solidify your death.
So that's how I'm going to go out. Just go into space and blow up, huh?
Yeah. It was a test rocket that failed.
Yeah.
There was nobody on it, but
No,
I mean,
I know.
they could just stick you on there. And
it was good enough for monkeys and dogs. Why not? I'll be.
So go to
throw me up
space.
there.
Are you going to want to come back, or do you want to die in space?
Geez. No, I think I'd like to die with people around me that know me.
Yeah.
As long as it's not too bad for them.
But you got to come back and tell us about space.
That's exactly it. It's
what fun was it?
Steve, it truly is the final frontier. They weren't lying.
I think it depends on the health, the condition I'm in, because I would like to have like one last big wrestling match.
Oh,
and one where it's like just as many people as humanly possible to put like in a place where it's like just like that one last hurrah.
All right. These are the kind of questions you want to ask yourself every 10 years because you get to see where you were and where you are.
Right.
Because I know 10 years ago I would have had a different answer.
No, yeah. 15 years ago, I probably would want to hang out with like the stars of Babysitters.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be like, if I die, I want to go out that way.
All right, Vicky.
So in my entire life, I've only been to Disneyland once. Like, I was 12 years old. I've never been again. I mean, I went to the one in France, but it really didn't have that many rides.
Oui.
That I don't really count that one. I've never been to Disney World, so I would definitely want to go on every single ride and just experience it like a kid. Go talk to all the characters. Just pretend to be a kid for a whole day.
How is it that Danny hasn't somehow said, let's take a vacation there? He loves Disneyland.
I know. What the hell, Danny?
Let's go.
Yeah,
Once
I mean, you don't, and
this
you know what?
pandemic's over.
You don't have to be dying. I think you guys could probably do that.
But like, I want like the exclusive tour where I go front of line,
line.
to everything.
You can pay for those.
Yeah, exactly.
Do they have the dead kid line? Like, do they have like if a kid's?
Wow.
Well, I don't know, the Make-A-Wish thing.
Yes. No, actually, if you go to DisneyWorld.com//dead kid line, you'll be able to get information about how to get those.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like sometimes? Look, perhaps I said it the worst way I could say it.
No,
but
you wear a hat and it says "I'm dying" and it points an arrow pointing at your own face. It's the
kid-
whole thing.
I want that, so at least I won't feel like someone's getting preferential treatment except someone who's a Make-A-Wish kid. Even though now I know they do it for kids that aren't dying now.
Well, like I said, I mean, yes, if you don't want to pay the money, they do the Make-A-Wish stuff. But you can also just pay the money and you can get the exclusive tour.
And then you don't have to worry about the dying part.
Vicky apparently wants the one where you're dying exclusive tour.
Well, this was the whole idea.
Well, she doesn't want to get
dying
bumped in line
wish.
by a dying kid because
Yeah.
I would imagine dying kid trumps the. What are we doing?
Well,
I don't
Vicky's
know.
dying.
I'm like,
Let's say
this
the
is the
idea
only
she's
thing-
dying.
Like, yeah, this is my dying wish. I'm like, cool. I want to
Yeah.
go pretend to be a kid one more day.
So you'll wear the hat that says you're dying so that you can go to the front of the line and people will be respectful.
I want to wear a shirt that says, "Who's done? This guy or girl?" I guess.
This girl,
All right.
right?
It just doesn't sound as good. This guy.
With like Mickey thumbs pointing at it.
Yes.
I mean, it's got to be.
guy.
Yeah.
Boy, you have to. You know, that's the
A
thing.
Mickey hat that just says R.I.P. instead of your name.
Oh wow,
This is getting really dark.
I actually like it. We've got some merchandise we can sell.
So I said, Steve, you got to go out like Randy the Ram, like in the movie The Wrestler. Yeah, top rope. I don't know. It doesn't really tell you, but it looks like his heart just gave out.
Yeah, we're not sure, right?
Yeah, no, the movie ends just kind of like one like a Sopranos type ending.
Yeah.
Like you assume he's done.
Yeah, you would think so, but you know what? Who knows? Who knows? All right,
All right,
Rev.
Probably a cameo in like an MCU type movie. So a superhero movie where maybe I'm just a person, even just like walking by, but I want a line or something or get like wasted by the villain at one point. Just be like a super cool way to go out.
All right. I think that's a cool way to go too. I didn't even think about that one. That's not a bad way to go.
Well, you're going to space. I think yours is a lot cooler.
Yeah, but to be in a Marvel movie and have somebody take you out.
But then you got to hope it gets released before you're done. Because otherwise, what fun is it?
Oh, right.
They just had to be stuck on a set.
For everyone else.
But remember, George Lucas, if you wear the dead kid hat, he lets you watch movies before anybody else. Remember that?
Very true.
Yeah, so chances are.
All right, Danny.
Just got to get that dead kid hat is what you got to get.
I just want to go to Italy and eat everything that I possibly can and drink all of the whiskey and all of the, everything, because I've never been to Italy, never been out of the country, and that's always been one of my big dreams. But also at that point, if I'm dying, I'm eating everything.
Right. What does it matter?
Yeah, 17 pizzas for one meal. Yeah, that's happening.
I think Rev and I have actually understood this whole thing.
What do you mean?
Well, because Vicky and Danny, you could do what they want to do without having to be dying. You could
but that's their dying wish.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Dying wish to me.
Someone could talk to the bases of Tool or go to Disneyland's Star Wars experience, and not have to be dying.
I think if you're dying, you want to get preferential treatment. Like, I'm not going to space anytime soon, unless, of course, they go, well, he's dying. We should at least let him go to space.
Like, somebody's dying wish could be like, I want to have my whole family together again.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes
you mean whole family together again, like the ones that are dead?
No.
I said, I'm trying to hell.
I have family in a different country.
I mean, well, all right. You could do that.
What kind of weird sorcery do you think we could pull off when they're dying?
A dying wish to me should be something that you really can't accomplish until
you
but
can,
people will do it.
But someone could fly to space.
You created your own sort of nitpicking rules.
Why do we have to have? I don't understand
I got
why
rules. I just feel like
why are you
rules for
crapping
everything
on people,
Vicky
man?
and Danny's. Rev, yours was good. I didn't say yours was bad.
Okay, great. Thanks.
I mean, because what are the chances of you being an extra in a Marvel movie? See, that to me is a great dying wish because it's not going to be easy to do that.
Plenty of chances. Think about
For him
all
to
the
be
extras.
shot at by the villain.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people that have been extras in a Marvel movie.
I
don't think all of them were dying.
Yeah, I think it's astronomical unless you know a guy.
Well, you have all these rules, and like always, I choose to not follow them, so thank you.
Well, you've been not following any rules for the longest time.
And have you ever been to an indie wrestling show? It's very impossible to have a giant full house of people coming to see me wrestle.
I agree. That's why I didn't give you a hard time. I only
talk
picked
about
Vicky
thousands,
and Danny.
not like hundreds.
Yes, that's why I picked only Vicky and Danny, because I think yours, mine, and Rev's are going to be really hard to do. Danny
fair.
could go to Italy right now. As a matter of fact, I'd like to
go to Italy, too, because I want to try their pasta.
I don't think I can go to Italy. We're locked down still, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, not right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What if I'm dying right now?
Oh, if you're dying right now, I will send you to Italy. I'll let you be their problem. There you go. What's he dying of? I don't care. Just take him. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
So I want to know, did you have a favorite 90s show?
Well, yes.
Well.
I think
Murder,
everybody...
She Wrote?
That's the one. How'd you guess? I am sounding like a douche, but I mean... late 80s, early 90s, I suppose it crossed over, but I consider it a 90s show, and that would be Seinfeld.
Seinfeld, definitely.
It's hard to really pick another show. Really, that was the show of the 90s for me.
Oh, man, this is a tough call. Like, what would be my favorite 90s show? I mean, Seinfeld was definitely a popular one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else we watched.
I mean,
Murphy Brown, I think Frasier, because those were 90s shows.
I mean, Vicky alluded to it in the last break, and I know it's silly, but I loved Beavis and Butthead, and that was the 90s, man. Like, that's where I discovered so many bands.
Yeah,
like, that's when I first heard White Zombie, and I remember when I found I was a Biohazard fan before that because they were a Brooklyn band, but that was when I felt like they made it. I was like, Beavis and Butthead's playing Biohazard, and they're not trashing it.
Yeah.
Deftones as well.
There's a show that was big in the 90s, but I never watched it, and I kicked myself because I binged it, and it was only because I started watching the remake, which happened just a couple years ago, Twin Peaks. Mm-hmm. It was huge in the 90s. I never cared. It was a soap opera, but it was really bizarre, and that's why everybody thought that it was just going crazy because it satisfied a lot of soap opera fans, but it was really twisted because of David Lynch, and I'd never cared. But then I watched the remake on Showtime, and I really liked it. I'm like, wow, this is weird. I'm getting into this. Maybe go back and binge watch all of the 90s episodes.
What about Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
That was a good one.
Was that part of TGIF?
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Family Matters.
Yeah.
Vicky said there was
Perfect
a nice
Strangers.
Yeah. She said there was a cool crossover recently on the new Sabrina that's on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. You kind of see some of the aunties in a different universe.
Oh, interesting.
Are they like naughty or something? Like, what's going on?
No, the original actresses. So we have our Sabrina.
She said it in a way that made me think like this is like for a mature audience.
Well, like,
I'm not, or is it your brain?
Well, we have the
right.
spooky, creepier aunties in the new series, but we got the old aunties making an appearance as well. Yeah.
Aunties does sound like naughty. I see what you're saying, Steve.
Right?
You feel like she said naughty aunties. Yeah.
I'm sorry that everything I say sounds filthy.
Well, maybe
none of that sounded filthy.
No.
Or filthy.
Filthy.
I didn't sound filthy.
You filthy pig, you filthy.
Ooh, Party of Five just got texted in. Remember that?
Oh,
that's
right.
I love that show.
My mom used to make me watch that show. She didn't make me watch it. That was like one of her favorites, and she would just have it on with like Beverly Hills 90210, and I was just like, oh, come on.
It was a super popular show.
And what a bummer storyline. Parents die. You all live on your own now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hilarity ensues.
My favorite was Are You Afraid of the Dark? On Nickelodeon.
Oh, that was a good one, yeah.
And it has all the scary, and you know what's fun is they're all on the CBS All Access app, and you can find them on Amazon Prime too to buy. They're fantastic.
Nice.
Like, see, the Nickelodeon shows that I loved were Salute Your Shorts.
That's amazing, yes.
And Hey Dude.
Yeah.
And
Well,
Hey
Hey
Dude.
Dude, yeah.
Hey Dude had What's Her Nuts from Dodgeball.
Good old What's Her Nuts.
Yeah, the Christie girl. I don't know, the blonde one.
Ooh.
All right.
How about the section says Wings? That was a bomb-ass show.
Oh, Wings.
I did like Wings.
It was funny, yeah.
Yeah. Was that the airport show
Yes.
with Thomas Hayden Church?
Yep.
THC.
Yeah.
It's like in
yeah.
Nantucket or something.
Yes. Yeah, that was. I forgot about that show. Yeah.
Fresh Prince for me too.
That's a classic.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forget. Yeah.
And
That's,
so it
I
said-
forget that's 90s. Yeah.
While we're talking Party of Five, you got to talk about the one that it was butted up against with, or is 90210.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
See, I thought you were going to say Dawson's Creek, and I was like, yuck.
And Melrose Place.
Melrose Place is another one.
That was the one that my mom loved.
That was my big thing. I used to work at basically like the star of the market that I was in Phoenix, and we always had a thing called "Get Your Face in the Place." That was our thing. We'd always talk about Melrose Place updates because our audience
I was
loved it.
never a Melrose Place person.
No.
Yeah.
And,
Well, the only reason is because they had really steamy scenes with Heather Locklear, right?
Did
was
they?
in. I believe she was
and
in it.
Jodie
pretty sure
Bissett,
she
who
was.
lives here, I think
lives
she's-
here, yep. Mhm.
Yeah, she was in that. Yeah.
I met her once at a concert. She was cool.
Thank you, Chris Farley.
Well, she was. She was super nice.
Well, I mean, that's cool. I don't know what I think Jodie's doing a lot of Hallmark Channel stuff, or I could be wrong about that.
I hope she is.
Yeah.
It seems like it would be a perfect audience for her.
Jodie was my favorite on Melrose Place. That's all I'm going to say.
A lot of people are saying X-Files, hands down.
Oh, that's right. My gosh, the 90s really did have stuff.
I remember watching one episode of X-Files. I'm like, I don't think this is my jam. And it was the incest episode.
Well,
Oh,
there you go.
That's the toughest one to
That
start.
was a creepy as F
Tough
episode.
one to start on, man.
Start and finish. I was just
Yeah.
like, you know what? If this is
Done.
what they're doing, I don't even want to deal
No,
with this. It was
that's
too
a-
much.
Yeah, that's not a good
Like
show to
stuck
start.
under like a bed or something like that.
Yeah,
it was
that
like
was
a really weird episode.
It was it was a disturbing episode. I remember that one. It was good, but that shouldn't be your first X-Files
No, I was like,
episode.
I'll just stick with Party of Five. None of that's happening on that show.
See, besides Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I can't really think of any live action shows I really liked from the 90s. It's all cartoons.
Well, what about Friends?
Well, so the funny thing is, I know it came out in the 90s, but I didn't start watching it until I was in high school in the 2000s. So
There
I
you
don't,
go.
in my head, it doesn't seem
Got
like
you.
a 90s show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was all about, Freakazoid, Animaniacs,
Oh, yes.
Rugrats,
I mean,
Powerpuff Girls.
Simpsons you got to put in there. That's when they started.
But I didn't.
I know one for me and Steve. Step by step.
Day by day.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Calf cow action.
Powder Puff Girls. Vicky, I remember all those cartoons. That's funny.
They're so good.
Yeah. Those are from the 90s?
Yes.
Wow.
Dexter's Laboratory.
And it's Josie Bazette.
What did I say?
I think you said Jodie.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking of Jodie Whittaker, who is also a great actor.
My So-Called Life has been texting in a couple times. That
That
was
was what Claire Danes, and it
Yeah.
lasted a season on MTV.
And Jordan Catalano, a.k.a. Jared Leto.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yes. I forget that Jared Leto started on that show.
right.
That's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's how I always remember him.
Yeah. Wow.
Not
That's
a bad way to remember him.
No, not at all. Did Married with Children, was that in the 90s as well?
I feel like
late
late
80s,
80s.
90s, but yeah, that was still a decent one.
Yeah. Dang.
Oh, In Living Color. Homie, don't play that.
Oh, that was a
right.
great show.
All right, then the 90s. Memories. What a time.
90s was like the best decade.
You say that.
I
'cause
feel
you,
like
you weren't a cool guy in the 80s.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was
You were
a child.
You were
in
a
the
cool
80s.
kid in the 80s. Steve.
I would go cool kid in the 80s. He was a kid in the 80s.
I was a child in the 80s with a sick mullet as a child.
That's cool.
I can see why you love the 90s, but I love the 80s for the same reason.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. Here's another question from a listener. I have a mountain of credit card bills and consumer debt. Can I still keep my house if I file bankruptcy?
Yes, you almost always can keep your home and your house, your car in a bankruptcy. Depending on what type of bankruptcy you file, would depend on whether or not, for example, you can keep your vehicles if you have payments on them still. You can almost always keep your home if you're current on the payments on your home, even in full bankruptcy. In Chapter 13, you can also keep those items. If you're behind on your house, you could catch your house payments up in a Chapter 13, take off a second mortgage in a Chapter 13. So keeping your primary assets like a home and car is almost always possible in bankruptcy.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. And thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.